Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. I'm so happy to have you. And if you didn't know, I upload 2 times a week. Tuesday, which is the video that you're catching right now. Tuesday videos are all uncut. That includes mistakes, deliveries, leaf blowers, whatever comes our way, it's included in the video. Saturday's videos are completely chopped up and wrapped up in a nice pre-box with a bow in it, and I go live on my YouTube channel up to 3 to 4 times per month, depending on like how busy the month is. So if that sounds good to you, thank you for subscribing. Let's get into today's video. And this is going to be highly requested by most of my subscribers that I've had for a while. A lot of you reached out so many times I can't even count for me to try the specific brands that I have in front of me. The first one being the one that's been requested the most, I think, by so much popular demand. I am finally going to try the brand Auric. This is Samantha Randival's, I believe I'm saying her name correctly, makeup brand. This is Auric. And if you don't know Sam or Samantha Randival, she is an OG YouTuber. She's been on the platform for, since the beginning. She is a true OG. She's a legend in the space, and I cannot wait to try her brand. Her brand is absolutely stunning. It's beautifully done. It's you could tell there's a lot of thought in this brand and a lot of love put into this brand. I mean, look at this packaging alone. Look at this palette. And this is what is this actually called? Let me grab the box for a second. And then let me shout this out as well too. I opened this off camera because I got excited, but this is the box that palette came in. And I want to also shout out that there is Braille on the top of the box, which is so thoughtful, so inclusive. Come on, camera. Focus, focus. There we go. So Braille on the top. This is the Mirage Shift palette, and I got the shade High Noon. I believe there is 3 or 4 shades available in this palette, so different depths depending on your skin tone that you could choose from. This is going to come with a bronzer, a blush, a highlight, and a balm. So the highlight is a satin finish, the balm is a dewy finish, so you're going to get the best of both worlds. And this is what the palette looks like inside, and it's quite stunning. Okay, look at that. She's a beauty. So cream bronzer, cream blush, highlight, and a balm. The highlighter and the balm, they're different finishes, but they do look very similar just in the packaging, like in the actual palette. So we'll see what they look like on my face. We'll be putting this bad boy on today the best we can. We'll be incorporating as much as possible. I also picked up 2 things from Oric, 2 eyeshadows from Oric that I'm very excited about. I already opened the packaging too off camera again. I got very excited to film this video. And it's so requested from y'all too. Like, I can't even count how many times you have requested in the comments, in DMs, to try Oric Beauty. So I am so thrilled to finally deliver this to you all. So I also got these Smoke Reflex. These are a duo eyeshadow, and basically you get a topper. Here's the actual packaging. Very sturdy, very nice, feels very luxe. And you open up the top, and it's got a powder shimmery eyeshadow. Look at that sparkle. Wow, looks gorgeous. And then on the bottom, so you click the cap close, twist off the bottom, and in the bottom you have a cream eyeshadow. This is this gorgeous shade called Entice. And I cannot wait to try this one on. I just do a different makeup look. So very excited for that. And then the other one that I picked up is Defiance. So Defiance, here's the topper. And yes, I know I need to get my nails done. I picked up a liquid eyeliner that didn't have a cap on it. It was like floating around in my makeup bag, and it completely stained the inside of my nails. So yes, my nails are clean. They just are stained. Don't come for me, please. I know I need a manicure. My girl's out of town right now, so I don't know what to do. And then here's the bottom half of Entice. It's like a beautiful deep bronze. Stunning. I mean, they're beautiful color combinations. I cannot wait to try one of these on. I'm probably going to go for the green because it's not a color that you see me wear often on my channel, and I'm really excited to test this out. Last thing from Oric that I picked up is the Glow Lust. Now, when you guys were requesting that I try this brand, I think this is what was the #1 product that you wanted me to test out specifically. So everyone wanted me to try this. They have said that I'm going to love it because I love glowier products, like glowy base products, like liquid illuminator products. And this is supposed to be amazing. It's supposed to highlight, smooth, hydrate, and it's an innovative Oh, it has innovative polymers to brighten and hydrate dull skin. Interesting. So vegan, cruelty-free, of course. It's a radiant luminizer, and I got the shade Pyrite. So let's try this out. Let's open this up at least. And look at that packaging, though. I know it's not about the packaging, but they really are wine and dining me with this packaging. It's quite stunning. Oh, wow. This is like... I can see why you wanted me to try this. This looks gorgeous. Very reminiscent of a Hollywood Flawless filter from Charlotte Tilbury. Like, you could see like the luminosity in the formula. Looks beautiful. The cap, wow. I mean, that's some custom, very expensive packaging. Like, this is not cheap. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I cannot wait to try this. You know what? Should we just put this on now? Let me run through the other things we're going to test out just so you can have an idea of the other brands I'm going to try out that you requested me to try out. The other brand we're going to try out is SOSHE Beauty. I hope I'm saying that right. SOSHE. I don't know how else I would say this, but SOSHE Beauty. And I actually really want to go and get some more eyeliners from this brand because there's this one that I've seen a targeted ad on other platforms that looks so pretty. It's like a Bordeaux color. Looks gorgeous. But I picked up, not knowing that I should have gone that eyeliner, I picked up the eye brightener. It's for the waterline. It's in the shade, oh gosh, cashmere. So cashmere to brighten my very red eyes that always need some like redness reducing. And then I got the Dusty Mauve eyeliner, or lip liner, excuse me. This is in the shade Speak Easy, and it's described as a dusty mauve, which I love a dusty mauve, so I cannot wait to try that. I don't have a new lipstick to put on top, so I'll probably just put like a lip balm on top. And then last but not least, talk about another product that you all have requested that I try so many times that I have lost count quite literally. I finally got Kimchi Beauty. I got the Set and Bake powder, and I picked up the shade Pink Rose. The reviews on this are astronomically good. They're amazing. I can't believe it took me so long to buy this product. I actually ended up picking it up on Amazon. It was really quick and got to me very fast. So I cannot wait to try this on. I have heard amazing things about Kimchi Beauty. Kimchi is the creator of this brand, clearly, and I've just heard nothing but good things. So I'm stoked to try this powder. Let's open this bad boy up. I'm so anxious. Look how cute this is. Oh my God. I mean, it's all about those touches. Look at that. Is this not the cutest wrapping you've ever seen in your life? Oh, I don't even want to open it. It's like a beautiful like bar of soap. You know, soaps were wrapped like this kind of back in the day. So this is the actual packaging. You've probably already seen it because you've been asking me to try it for a trillion years. That's the color of the powder. And I just cannot wait. I cannot wait to try this out. Let me make sure my ringer is off because for some reason it just made a noise. And let's get into this makeup. We're going to be putting this on our face first just to see what it looks like. And depending on like what this looks like on my skin, I might just go on with this and then do spot concealing with my Sarah Creole concealer because this actually is marketed as a full face and under eye coverage product. So I've never really used it for that. So I may or may not use it for this scenario. So let's try the, what is this actually called again? Glow Lust. I just did about 3 pumps and I want to put it on with an N17 brush that is nice and clean. And let's see. Oh, I picked a great shade. This is going to even out my face with the rest of my body. This almost feels like a gel. Like a lightweight gel consistency. Let me move this a little bit closer to me. And I swear, yep, I have a Tomas hair in my eyeball. Oh my gosh, I could not see you for a minute. I literally just had a Tomas hair hanging on my eye. He's passed out next to us, by the way. Okay, so this is looking beautiful. It's definitely giving me some color, some warmth, and obviously a lot of glow. I wouldn't normally put something like this above my lip, but honestly, I was distracted talking and I just threw it above my lip, which is not going to be the best place for a liquid illuminator, but here we are. I'll make the mistakes during these uncuts so you don't have to. So let's apply it to the forehead. It's blending out incredibly easy. It feels very like a burst of water on my skin. It doesn't feel like greasy or slimy. It just feels very like silky and I don't know, like almost like a cool, like a gel moisturizer. That's kind of what it feels like on my skin. The glow is pretty much outrageous. I can see completely why you all asked me to try this product in particular so many times. I mean, I got just dozens and dozens and dozens of requests for this product. So I'm so happy to finally be testing this out. I mean, it looks beautiful. Radiant, glowy. It's stunning. Now, I do have very oily skin, so it'll be interesting to see how this is going to wear on my skin throughout the day. I'll have to give you an updated, my updated thoughts on this product as I just drop the cap on that product. As I wear it and as I get more like time in it, it's obviously a first impression of this product, but so far that's pretty darn stunning. So that's the Glow Lust in Pyrite. Like on my forehead, it looks gorgeous everywhere. I just wish I didn't have it here, but ignore that. It is what it is. It's not the end of the world. Let's dive right into this palette and let's try the bronzer. So the bronzer, let's test this bad boy out. And for that, I'm going to grab a BK Beauty 109 brush. Let's dip into the bronzer. And before we go in with that concealer from Sarah Creole, I want to get bronzed up. I want to get sculpted and bronzed up before I go in with that. Okay. Let's test this bad boy out. So this is very creamy, but it did take a minute to kind of break down that harder surface on the top. It's pretty warm. I mean, it is a bronzer, so it's going to be warm. Might be a little, maybe a little warm for like what I typically like on me, but it's beautiful. It's blending on nicely. Unfortunately, when I have my hair pulled back this tight, granted it's great because I don't have to worry about my hair. I don't have to fuss with it. I don't have to touch it. I don't have to, mess with it as I'm doing makeup, but all my baby hairs can be a really big issue. Like right here, there's just not a whole lot I can do other than just try to blend out, but it ends up looking kind of crazy in this area when my hair is pulled like this far back. So we're just going to ignore that for a minute just so we can get the product on and get an idea of how much we like it. So it's pretty buildable. I'm building it up in a few spots. I'm going to do a little bit around my temple and around my eyes. So when we get to doing the eyeshadow, we have a nice little connecting amount of bronzer to connect the eyes with the forehead. Now let's do the nose. Same brush, because we're going to go over that area, like around my nose, to contour it a bit with the concealer. So I'm not really worried about being precise here. I'm just going to lay down some bronzer. I mean, it's pretty. They're very glowy products. I want to assume that Sam maybe has more dry skin, because I do feel like these products so far, first impression wise, are leaning towards people that have more dry skin. So they're very creamy, they're very glowy. They, may or may not be the best suited for like really, really oily skin types. This is just the thoughts that are popping in my head as I'm putting this on my skin right now. They could definitely change as I wear them throughout the day. So again, I'll have to keep you updated. But just my initial thoughts is she may or may not be more of a dry skin girly, because I feel like these are like a dry skin person's dream. So just tapping this on, getting a nice amount of warmth. Okay, let's push it back into the ear. Very nice. All right, I mean, we're bronzed up. I think we'll do a little more over here because I'm not looking quite even yet. So stick with me, we're almost done with the bronzing. But it's overall, it's very pretty. It's very balmy. You could see like the glow from the pan. So it's a very glowy, balmy product. It is cream, but they're very like, they feel very hydrating so far, just first impression wise. I'm gonna get my chin just a little bit, and then I'm gonna switch over to an N12 brush, dip back into the bronzer, and this is just something that you know I like to do. I'm gonna take whatever bronzer I'm using within reason. This is not shimmery, so I can definitely put this below my lip and just do a little bit of shading above my lip. So in the Cupid's bow and below. Okay. All right, that looks good. I'm definitely bronzed. I'm definitely glowing. The glow is pretty much outstanding. Now I think let's do some blush too. Let's just do some blush. I want to just test this out as well. So I'm going to grab my N17. This actually has a little bit of a stain on it from the Milk Makeup Jelly Tints. It's not recovered, but it's okay. It's just a really pretty pink N17. We're going to dip in this beautiful coral shade. I'm not usually a coral girly over here at all, so I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone a bit, which is why I picked up that olive green eyeshadow and this color palette. I normally love like a cool tone pink. It's just, I don't know. I'm just a big fan of like cool tone pinks on me, but we're going to try something different. So I'm dipping in, tapping on. The blush is going on a bit patchy. I'm not sure why. Maybe a little too much glow is happening and they're not really laying down well on top of each other. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I'm getting some patchiness right here. It's a little inconsistent with the blend. I might just not want to sit on top of such a glowy base. So I'll definitely try that cream blush on top of something different in the future. Probably more of like a satin finish, just to see like if it goes on more smooth and like less patchy. I feel like it's not gripping to my skin the way it probably wants to, and it's ending up looking a little patchy. We're gonna move on from now to keep the flow of this video going a little bit better. I'm actually gonna do my concealer now, and then we'll do some eyeshadow right after. So Sarah Creole Face Flex. Let me give this a good shake. I noticed when I let this one sit for an extended period of time, like a week before I try it again, that the formula separates a little bit. So if you have this formula and you're noticing that, before you put it on, since it is a little bit more liquidy, it's not as like thick and creamy, just give it a really good shake, because you know, it would be a bad idea not to, basically. So Face Flex in the shade 2. Let's apply this under the eyes, and then we're going to use this also, like I mentioned, for coverage. So I'm going to scoop this around my nose. I'm going to highlight down the center of my nose. I'm going to highlight between my brows. I'm going to do a little lifty lift. I'll probably go back in after shadow and do a little bit more here, so we won't set the concealer yet. But let's do a little here too, because I'm just not loving the way this blush is looking on my skin right there. Let's cover up that pimple on my chin. Let's let this sit for a second, because I want it to dry down just a bit. While this is drying down, I'm just going to at least open up this kimchi powder. Oh my god, look at this powder puff. That's so cute. It's a little too big for my liking, but man, is it soft and cute. Let's just open this up together. grab my tweezers because we all know finding that seal, like the end of the seal in a new powder, is so difficult. Here we go. It's like invisible. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh, okay. I got half of it off. Yeah, that's locked in there. Okay. I'm gonna shake some into the cap. You probably can't tell. Oh no, you can tell. There's a cute little heart shaker in there. That's adorable. Let's see if this smells like anything. No, not getting any kind of scent or anything like that. Now that we let my concealer do a little bit of dry down, I'm going to go in with my N14 brush, tap it in. I want to maintain as much coverage as possible because we don't have an actual base on. We just have that glow, the Glow Lust, which is absolutely stunning and will probably end up being my favorite product from the brand that I've tried so far. And I cannot wait to play around with it more. You know, I can't wait to test it with ways that I like to wear makeup, which I'll probably end up mixing that into a foundation, mixing it on top of a more matte foundation, and just really playing around, which I love to do. But I kind of want to just wear it on its own without any other distractions with it and see what it can do without any other product like manipulation, basically. I mean, aside from concealer, but how could I not put concealer on top of it at least? So Sarah Creole is going well on top so far. And I might just cover up the blush a bit and go back on top of it, just for the sake of fixing this patchiness so we have a really pretty makeup look at the end of this Nikki Uncut. I don't want to be left with a bad makeup look. That just defeats the purpose. Okay. Now I'm going to take whatever's left over on the brush, right, and just kind of erase a little bit of that patchiness, and then we'll go back on top in a bit, like I mentioned. I'm gonna go back to the 109 that has that leftover bronzer and just start to melt any harsh lines, melt them into it to get into each other. Ooh, that was difficult to say. And get a nice smooth look to my skin. A little too much bronzer right here. Just blend that bad boy out. And then I'm going to tap in the nose highlight. Lightly, delicately tapping and not disrupting it too much. We're at a good stopping point right now. We're going to do the highlighters later. We're going to do the highlighter and the balm later. Let's dive into the eye makeup now. And like I mentioned, for this makeup look, we're going to be using Defiance. Or no, not Defiance. We're going to be using the green one. So the green one is Entice. So let me take this cap off one more time. And let's grab an N16 brush. This is my concealer brush, but I love this brush for cream eyeshadows, liquid eyeshadows, eyeshadow bases. Let's tap in. I don't know what the pigment is like, so let me just do a little pre-blend on my hand like that. Oh, it's a stunning color. Absolutely stunning. And let's just dive right in. Okay, so they're a bit more sheer than I was expecting. Let's pick up a bit more of that product. Layer it, see if we can layer it a bit more. And with the longer tip of the brush, I'm going to use that to blend into the crease. That's pretty. Switching my brush. Before it has time to dry down, I'm not sure what the dry down time is. I'm going to grab my clean N13 brush and start to blend a little bit more. Here we go. Pretty. Again, not as opaque as I thought, but very, very pretty. I'm really excited to put the shimmer on top, and I'll probably put it more in like the center as a halo, maybe. Or maybe I'll just put it all over the eyelid And we'll just do like a very blown out, kind of one and done eyeshadow look. I do love cream eyeshadows. They have to be good though. You know, they can't just be like crusty cream eyeshadows that start to like crease and flake throughout the day. Very curious to see how this is going to wear throughout the day. I'm assuming this feels actually very, you know, kind of more sheer and almost borderline balmy. And maybe that's like the running theme within the brand. You know, again, like I'm assuming she's more dry, likes more balmy, creamy, moisturizing products, which is great for a ton of people, but not so much for oily people like me. But that's okay. I just have a different set of products that I like because of my skin type. So same thing, I'm going to just blend this into the crease. I'm not going to worry too much about what, you know, how far down I go, because I'll just add more concealer to clean it up in a bit. So let me actually, yeah, I'm going to switch. I'm going to use my N13, dip into the cream. Let's layer it with this brush instead. And see if we can make it a little bit more opaque. There we go. Yeah, I mean, I'm still seeing my eyelid through a little bit, but not that bad. So, you know, they are buildable, which is a good thing if you want more of a sheer eyeshadow look. If you don't want to be like super like wham bam, thank you ma'am in your face, then that could be great. I like to have both options. So it's kind of like a buildable blush. You know, if you want it to be more sheer and natural, you have that ability to make it like that, or you have the ability to build it up. So I like that you can build it up. And I'm very excited to try that bronze one in a separate video, because it's, you know, it's definitely a Nikki color. So not many other thoughts pop in my head about this formula. It's pretty easy. Like, granted, I didn't pick the easiest color to apply in a Nikki and Cut, but it's different, and it was just speaking to me when I was shopping for this video. So it's a beautiful, beautiful, like almost like a vintagey green. So I'm really digging that. But since it is darker, it's a little bit more fussy to blend than that bronze one would be. So I'm going to grab another clean N13 brush, do one more round of blending. Instead of spreading more product, I'm just going to blend out whatever's on the eyelid, just like that. And I think what I want to do is I'm actually going to grab a powder bronzer, because let's actually use this one. Laura Mercier, the Duo one. I'm just going to use the matte side. This is a shade Cans. I want to use a cream just to give this a little bit of balance, because I don't want it to be all cream. I just need to stop this from like moving too much in the crease, and I want a little bit of depth behind it. So let's just try a little bit of Laura Mercier in the crease. Yeah, that's giving me more of a complete look that I'm just craving right now. Okay, we're gonna move on. We're gonna go and put the cap back on this little bad boy. Definitely close this up right away if you have this product at home. If you have any cream eyeshadows at home, make sure you're not leaving them open, like the jar open, for an extended period of time, because that is going to cause them to dry out, and then you're gonna waste the product, waste your money. So now let's use the topper, and I cannot wait to see how this transforms the look. And I'm just going to I'm going to press this on the eyelid, which will hopefully dry it down a touch too, because again, I do have like severely oily eyelids, and I want this to stay put. Oh, that's quite stunning. Wow, that's gorgeous. All right, so we're just gonna put it all over basically, because it's that pretty. Wow, really beautiful, like gold reflective topper that just looks so pretty with that more olive green. Wow. That's gorgeous. Huh. And by the way, all the brands that I'm using today, if you're not someone who requested that I try these brands in a video, I'm going to leave them linked, the actual brands. I'll have them linked in the description box of this video. So you'll be able to check them out and different colors that they have available and all that good stuff. So now let's go in. You know what? I'm going to switch things up. So hold on. I got to go back to something that a bit more tried and true. The Cerakote is giving me just even more hydration, even more glow, which is the last thing that my skin needs. So I'm going to brighten up and clean up a bit more with the Estee Lauder Double Wear Concealer. I wear the shade 2N, and this is just like holy grail at this point. I have been wearing this concealer nonstop. It just doesn't let me down. So I need a bit more smoothing and more of like a satin finish. And I forget the Cerakote is actually very hydrating, and I did not really need more hydration, clearly. I am quite shiny right now. So we'll use this. I love the flat doe foot of the Estee Lauder. It gives me so much more control to like lay a sheer, more thin amount of product down. Let's do a bit more there too. So Estee Lauder, I'll link both concealers in the description box. Don't you worry. I mean, the Estee Lauder is just so foolproof, so long wearing. I mean, it's not foolproof in a sense where if you use too much of it, it will look cakey. So just keep that in mind. But foolproof in a sense where if you apply the right amount and you blend it out, it will stay put all day long. It is just stunning. Just going to tap out that concealer. And you're going to really see the whole process of fixing, blending, and hopefully getting a nice cohesive makeup look out of these products. Going back to the 109 to melt the edge of that concealer back in. There we go. Melt away that harsh line. I didn't dip back into more product. I'm just using whatever's left over. And 17 that's got the glow product on it. Actually, that's the blush one, but it's okay. Now let's bring back, I think we should bring back the blush. We're in a decent spot to bring back a little bit more blush. So let's go back, same brush, dip back into the coral blush, and let's try to layer this. All right, this looks way better. Way, way, way better. Yeah, it just needed to be on more of like a better foundation, basically, like quite literally a better foundation. It was just looking patchy on top of like the glow and more glow. Like it just wasn't, it was not serving this blush well at all. This is looking way better. Now, color combination wise, you know, the mauve color theory wise is not going to go with this blush, but let's just try to break the rules a little bit and just see what we can come up with. But it might be like a color theory nightmare going on in my face. So we'll see. We'll see how that is going to play out. Same with the powder, depending on how pink this is going to look on my skin. But let's just go for it. Let's test it out. Let's apply the Kimchi Chic Pink Rose powder. I'm going to grab a different, also clean N14 brush. I'm going to dip into the cap. Tap off the excess. And let's set these under eyes. You all rave about this powder, and specifically the pink one. So I have dark circles, and a pink powder under or on top of dark circles is going to give a soft element of color correction or color adjusting too. So let's say like you have a concealer under your eyes that's just a little too warm, looking a little too yellow. If you set it with a pink powder, even if it's like very sheerly pink, that little hint of pink is going to help neutralize that more warm, like golden undertone. So pink powders are just, they're the jam. They're amazing. Okay, this is looking unbelievably smooth. This is giving me and my oily skin a dream finish Whoa, the texture, holy moly. It's like satin, silky sheets. I cannot talk today. Satin, silky sheets on my skin. That's what it feels like. Okay, so press this on the eyes. It looks blurring. It looks like a filter. And it looks silky and matte on my skin. And just, it's really giving me like some life right now. Like it's really giving me some balance to that really, really, really glowy base. So definitely here for that. The eye makeup is looking really pretty. The topper really just like sealed the deal for me in terms of like the overall finish. The topper just locked it in, made it look really like complete and really pretty. Now I don't have a new eyeliner, so I'm just going to use a bit of Makeup by Mario. This is the shade Perfect Brown. And we're going to use this to just lightly shade and do a little baby wing in the outer corner. You switch my brush really quick. I'm going to grab an N11 brush. I'm going to gently pull out that liner and just kind of wing it out very softly. There we go. Dip into the liner with the brush. And then pull it out. Cute. Definitely feeling much more complete. The difference between the eyeliner eye and the non-eyeliner eye is, I think, a huge difference. So this is going to really tie the look together, really complete this eye makeup look. Then we'll top it with mascara and we'll move on to some other things like SOSHE Beauty. SOSHE Beauty. See, I can't talk. If you have not tried this Perfect Brown from Makeup by Mario, it is literally like a perfect deep brown. Let's do a little tight lining. I'm going to pull the eyeliner out the same way. Cute. Feeling much more pretty with this liner. Okay, yeah. That's exactly what we needed. Big, big time. Yep. Feeling much more like me, thankfully. Okay, let's open up some SOSHE Beauty. We're going to do the Waterline eyeliner in Cashmere to hopefully brighten up this redness that I have always, like permanently on my bottom lash line. You all ask me like pretty often, it's really funny, like just like new people that don't know that I have just really excessively red lower lash line. You ask me like what eyeshadow I'm wearing. It's usually in like short form content, like on other platforms, but I always find it so funny because I just have redness. But anyway, here's the SOSHE pencil. Really pretty packaging, bright, happy. It's like a metallic peach. It's really pretty. So this is the Waterline Eye Brightener in Cashmere. Let me swatch it too, just so you can see it. Okay, cool. I love these. I don't use them on myself typically, even though, again, I probably should because of my excessive redness on my lash line. But I use them heavily in my pro kit. The ones I use the most are from Swede and Makeup Forever. And they just work really well. So that one I'm really creamy. Very pigmented, very opaque. Definitely reduced the redness in my eye by, I don't know, 1000%. That was a good move of me to get this. I need this in my life apparently, and I was missing it. So nice formula. I'll be curious to see how it wears throughout the day. Let's try the lip liner. Let's just put it on. Like regardless of if it's going to go with the tones of this makeup, it's all about testing this video. Nikki and Cuts are where we kind of break the rules. We test things out. We see if they're going to be a good fit. Like we see what plays well with each other, and it's just more like a learning experimental experience. They're not like, I'm not teaching you like, hey, don't put this with this, if that makes sense. So Nikki and Cuts, a little more fun, a little more playful. So just try to try to keep that in mind. So this is the lip pencil. It's the Soft Glide lip pencil in the shade Speak Easy. This looked so pretty online. Let me swatch this for you on my hand as well. That is Speak Easy. Definitely a dusty mauve. I'm going to powder my lips really quick before we get into this product because I feel like they're a little too oily. And now let's apply this. Creamy, really good glide. It's a good like classic wooden pencil, which I love. I love a wooden pencil. That's just my favorite. So I'm going to fill in my Cupid's bow, which you know I like to do. It's a great color, really great tone. Definitely very cool. And again, not my first pick for a coral blush, but honestly, the blush is not, it's not, I feel like it kind of faded, to be quite honest. So maybe we'll go back on with a little bit more, but it's still looking kind of washed out, to be honest. Okay, very nice. To top this off, I just want to do something more simple. I'm just going to do a little bit of New Squeaky Clean Lip Balm from Westman Atelier. I love this. It's one of my daily lip balms, tinted lip balms, lip glosses, whatever you want to call it. It's like a hybrid. It's non-sticky and it just feels like incredible on my lips. And again, color theory wise, this is going to go great with the lip liner, not so much with the blush. But it is what it is. It's not too bad. Very pretty. I do want to go on and I want to set my bronzer with a powder bronzer just to lock it in a bit more. It's something I would do anyway, regardless of like testing out products. So for that, I'm going to go in with the 104 brush from BK Beauty and the same Laura Mercier that we applied in the crease of the eye. Just get into both shades. It really doesn't matter. They look great combined. So one's shimmery, one's matte. I'm going to tap off the excess. And I just want to lock this bronzer in for longevity on my oily skin. And anytime you want more longevity with a cream product, you're going to want to think of locking it in with a like-minded shade and a like-minded product. So cream bronzer, put powder bronzer on top, lock it in. It'll intensify it, it'll bring it back out, and it'll give you, again, much more longevity. So I'm going to use the same technique and just lock in the nose. Bring a little bit more warmth back to the center of my face. And we still need to do mascara. I forgot about mascara. I thought something was missing. A little bit on my cheek, around my temple. Connect any areas of separation. And again, keep in mind, we don't actually technically have foundation on. We just have a few layers of concealer, to say the least. But it looks really pretty. It's definitely coming together. One thing I want to do to just make it come together even more and just for my liking is grab another N12 brush. And I'm going to go in with that same powder bronzer, just the matte side this time. And I just want to do a little bit of soft shading along the lower lash line. Just a really small amount just to give me more of a complete and cohesive look. Now also, I did bang into my eyebrows a few times, so I need to grab my Revie Beauty brow pencil and just fix this really quick. Much better. For mascara, I've been testing and loving the Half Magic Electric Extreme Lengthening Mascara. This has not smudged on me, it has not run on me, it has not flaked on me, and it's really easy to use. I love the wand on this. It's more like a tapered plastic wand, which I like for my eyes and just my lash type. I just feel like I have a lot of control with this type of wand, so I've been really loving this one. I've been going between the Maybelline Colossal The new Persona Cosmetics tubing mascara is phenomenal, and this one. So these have been my three that are on rotation, currently speaking. And drop in the comments what mascara you're on is in your rotation, because we all rotate from like, you know, month to month, depending. I feel like most of us have at least two that we usually switch between. Correct me if I'm wrong. But mascara is one of those things where it's kind of fun to jump around a little bit. Nice. Really great impact. I find when I wear this mascara, I'm not reaching for false lashes to complete my makeup look or to give me more confidence. I feel like this gives me a lot. It is a bit more of a wet formula too, just something to kind of keep in mind. So when you're using it, I like to just slow it down the best I can. And remember, it's not a race, and just get this on a little bit more mindfully, because more wet formulas, they could be a bit more messy, and you just have to think a little bit more when you're applying them and not just kind of wiggle it on and throw it on, because it could create a mess, especially if you have your eye makeup perfectly done. The last thing you want to do is get a wet mascara on your eyelid. Okay, that just totally transformed the eye makeup look completely. I'm loving the lip. And again, the blush, it's a lot more natural. So we are, even though it's against color theory completely, we are getting away with these two tones working well for this makeup look. So that's a win for this Nikki Uncut. All right, mascara's done. I always skip the bottom because it always flakes and runs on me. Let's dive into the last product in this kit, or in this palette, that we want to try out. And for that, you know, actually, let's grab the back side of the N17. Let's swirl into the first one, which is described as more of like a satin finish. That's this one right here. So I'm just going to pick this up with the tip of my N17. Okay, yeah, it doesn't seem like very... Okay, yeah, this is going to be... should be pretty. Let's tap this on. Ooh. Can you see that? That's very nice. I'm a little afraid to use the balmy one, if I'm being honest, because I am so oily and I'm already like, I have a very glowy base on. But I think for the sake of the video that we have to try it. All right, and for the balmy one, texture-wise, I want to see what we're working with. Oh yeah, that's oh yeah. Okay, so let me show you the difference. Okay, this is a satin highlight versus the balmy one. The middle finger is the balmy one. My index is the satin one. And let me show you what they look like together. So swatched, the one on the bottom is the balm. This is the satin. The satin looks more opaque. The balm looks more sheer. The balm is definitely what I would use like on set if I was working with someone and I had just like locked in their makeup, but I want to infuse some like extra glow. It's how I like to use the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate palette. I'll go in sometimes with my fingertips and I'll just tap it on the bridge of the nose usually and just certain areas. So I'm going to do exactly that. I'm going to pick up the balm, and this actually might be too much. I'm just going to tap this on to get like more of like a glossy, juicy glow. Okay, yeah, I mean, it's pretty. It's very, very pretty. And for this product too, I love this type of product with a small brush. This is the 207 from BK Beauty. I'm going to dip into the balm one last time. And this is a place where I love to put balmy highlighters, is in the tear duct. There's something so like sexy about it. It just looks so pretty. I love the look. So can you see that? Really pretty. That's nice. That's really, really nice. For my skin type, not the best. For dry skin types, gorgeous. Gonna be a really, really nice product. I want to just give this blush one last go. Okay, so just bear with me. We're almost done with this makeup look, but just a little bit more. And And then that's going to be the look. I will definitely be testing all these products out, both individually and with other products that you know I love and they're more tried and true. But first impression wise, the palette is really beautiful. It's very well done, very well thought out. The outer packaging, I mean, it looks like gorgeous, like driftwood. It's absolutely stunning. Is this going to be the best for an oily person? No, but that's only one portion of people out there. So if you have dry skin, if you love glow, and if you want like more of like a creamy, buildable palette, this is definitely worth checking out. It's really, really nice. Just again, not the best suited for my skin type and like what I personally prefer, personal preference wise, you know, if that makes sense. The shadows, absolutely stunning. I think they're gorgeous, really well done. I'm curious about other shades. I kind of wish I picked up this one like more like rose gold shade, but maybe I'll pick it up in a future video. And you'll definitely see me using the bronze one in another video to come, so stay tuned for that. The kimchi powder is the hero of this video. This powder is unbelievable. Like the feeling of this under my eyes, the feeling of it on the side of my nose, my chin, anywhere that I get really, really oily, and the fact that it really calmed down and reduced the massive amount of glow that we had on our skin when we were testing these products out says a lot. SOSHE Beauty, pretty eyeliner. The lip liner was great. I'm definitely going to pick up that other eyeliner that I mentioned earlier that I really want as well, so stay tuned for that. But first impression, these are no complaints, really nice products. Thank you for asking me to try them. Otherwise, I probably would have skipped it or just, you know, I don't know, maybe gotten around to it much later. So I really like these. And then the Glow Lust. Cannot wait to infuse this into other makeup looks and to try with different combinations, different foundations, and different textures and formulas. So you'll be seeing me use this a lot just to get familiar with it. And I'll definitely keep you updated on all my thoughts as I continue to try these products out. But those are my first impressions of Auric, Kimchi Beauty, and SOSHE Beauty. So thank you so much for requesting that I try these brands. If you have others, drop them in the comments. Don't be shy. Drop them as many times as you want. The more times you drop them, honestly, the more times it jogs my memory to try them out, clearly. So this is the final makeup look. I'll give you one more look at it. The eyes are really pretty. The skin is glowing, and it's going to glow even more throughout the day with my natural Nikki oils. So here's the makeup look. Thank you so much for watching. I cannot wait to see you in the next video, and everything will be linked below. Until then, bye.